All right, CBN Capitol Hill correspondent Abigail Robertson joining us now with a closer look at the impact of this bill. CBN News senior national affairs correspondent Heather Sells and Angela Morabito, spokesperson and higher education fellow at Campus Reform. Ladies, thank you for being here. Heather, to you first. I know you've been following this effort to pass the Equality Act for some time. It was a foregone conclusion that it would pass in the House. It's already passed before, as Abby mentioned in her report. Heather, what do you anticipate, though, when it comes to the Senate?
Right, and that's a big question now because of the makeup of the Senate. It does need 60 votes to pass in the Senate to avoid a filibuster, John, and right now what we're seeing is that there's not Republican support for it. You're seeing moderate Republicans like Mitt Romney and Susan Collins backing off. So, that's the question. Is it going to get an actual debate in the Senate, or is it merely going to be introduced and then Democrats can use it as a wedge election issue coming up?
Angela, to you, critics cite concern for women and girls with this legislation. How could this bill affect them?
This bill has the potential to devastate women's sports. I mean, we want everyone to play the game, but we want everyone to play fairly, quite literally on a level playing field. And if you look at the science here, there was a study recently in the British Journal of Sports Medicine that says transgender women are still bigger, faster, and stronger than biological females, even after a year on hormones. And the effects here are immeasurable, but if we were to try to measure it in terms of scholarship opportunities, the NCAA grants about $2 billion in scholarships every year. And for the average athlete, their scholarship is about $18,000 annually. So this could literally cost high school athletes quite a bit.
We are talking about that, Angela, in the abstract. Do you have any specific examples where it actually has played out in reality or is playing out and hurting women in sports?
Absolutely. Well, as you mentioned, the case in Connecticut, there are 3 female athletes who are suing the athletic conference and their municipalities because 2 transgender women actually won 15 state-level track and field titles in, I believe, about a year or 2. So these 3 girls who were at the top of their game, they had worked virtually their whole lives to excel in their sport. They were losing out on scholarship opportunities to transgender women who were, like it or not, competing in biologically male bodies.
Heather, Republicans are advancing what's called the Fairness for All Act. It's an alternative to the Equality Act. Heather, is there any way to address both civil rights for LGBTQ Americans while also still respecting religious freedom?
Right. I think what's interesting about Fairness for All is it is perhaps a model for going forward, John, and we don't have that with the Equality Act. Fairness for All is giving LGBT Americans civil rights, but it is also providing religious liberty protection. A lot of conservatives say it's not providing enough religious liberty protection, but it could be a template, if you will, for going forward.
Heather, and real quick question, a follow-up for you. We've seen the business community really rally behind this bill. Apple, for example. How much pressure do you think they're going to put on Republicans in the Senate because of their close relationship with the business community?
I don't know. I don't think this country is ready right now to pass such a landmark LGBTQ bill. I think there needs to be a more sophisticated conversation about religious liberty. So I think it's going to happen, but I don't think it's going to happen this go around, John.
All right. Heather Sells and Angela Morabito, thank you so much for being with us and extending more information on this important topic.